Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to the temple. We begin our service as we sing together Maya Fe Hayom Shabbat Shalom. How beautiful the day is. It is Shabbat. To page 172 to sing together Ma Tovu on page 172.
Ma Tovu,
as we turn to page 195 for the Berlow. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, יוצר אור ובורא חושך, עושה שלום ובורא את הכל, המאיר לארץ ולדרים עליה ברחמים, ובטובו מחדש בכל יום תמיד מעשה וראשית. מה רבו מעשיך אדוני, כולם בחוכמה עשית, מלאה הארץ קנייניך. תתברך אדוני אלוהינו, על שבח מעשה ידיך, ועל מאורי אור שעשית, יפארו חסלה. אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני, יוצר המאורות. And we read together. The world is sunlight, restoring the soul. rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. And we turn to page 200 for the calling of the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be upon your heart, shall be upon your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
So this Shabbat we read the beginning of the story of Exodus, which is the story that we read at the first few chapters, is the story of how the people of Israel became servants to the Egyptians, oppressed and discriminated, but there's always hope for the future, and we know that the story is going to end with the liberation, with the freedom of the people of Israel as we go out, and the high moment is when we cross the Sea of Reeds, and we are so excited that we sing to God, Mi Chamocha, page 204.
Mi chamocha, va'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha, neder b'kodesh, nora tehilot. Oseh pele, mi chamocha, va'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha, neder b'kodesh.
And we rise as we turn to page 205 for the tefillah.
Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, they sought you in their lives. Their quest is ours. Help us to see the wonder of being. Give us the courage to search for truth. Teach us the path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring near the world we envision, one of justice, freedom, and peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, eternal teacher. Encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלך על הארץ, כי הודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו, לאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך יהוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכינו, הוא מושיענו, הוא ישמיענו, שבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated.
ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. מקדשי שבי שבת, כולם ישבעו וידנגו מטובך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. והשיר רצית בו וקידשתו שבת. חנות ימים אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. למעשי בראשית שבת, למעשי בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת.
We turn now to page 216 to read together the prayer for shalom, for peace and wellness and wholeness. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
Sim shalom, sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uveracha, chin v'chesed irachamim, aleinu, yal kol yirishmecha. Sim shalom, sim shalom.
Take a moment for a silent prayer. We turn now to page 253 for the Misha Berach, the prayer for courage and strength and healing in our lives. We name in our hearts the people that we know that need courage and strength and healing as we sing together Misha Berach.
Before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mekor habracha la'otinu, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We turn now to page 244 for Seder Kriyat HaTorah LeShabbat. Please rise.
In kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, b'maasecha, malchutcha, malchut olamim, u'memshaltecha b'kol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai melech, Adonai imoch, li'olam bo'er. Adonai oz le'amo yitin, Adonai
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great, holy is God's name.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Lecha Adonai Hagidula, Hagidula, Yadiviri, Hanitza, Hod, Ki Chol Bashamayim Uvares, Ki Chol Bashamayim Uvares, Lecha Adonai HaMamlacha, Yamid Nasi, Lichol Lirosh.
Please be seated. We're beginning a new book today, the book of Shmot, the book that is called Exodus in English. In Hebrew, Shmot means names, and in English, Exodus is obviously the story of the Exodus from Egypt, which is the big story that we begin to read today. But I want to say something before we do the reading that we're going to do on the way that the book is called in Hebrew, because in Hebrew it's not called Exodus, it's not called Yetziat Mitzrayim, the Exodus from Egypt, it's called Shmot, because the second word in the book is Shmot, names, Ve'ele Shmot Bnei Israel, and these are the names of the people of Israel. And there is a great lesson in the Hebrew name. There's a great lesson, obviously. The English name, the Exodus from Egypt, is the biggest story that the people of Israel tell. We retell it on Passover, on Sukkot, on Shavuot. We mention it every Friday night when we do the Kiddush, Zecher L'Yetziat Mitzrayim, memory to the Exodus from Egypt. Already in the Bible, it's the biggest story that we have. It's going to be like 4 books. But I want to say something about the name in Hebrew, which I think is so important and relevant for us. We all know what the story is going to be, and that's the part that we're going to read. How from being the favorites of the people of Egypt, being the family that Pharaoh is in love with and makes not the Pharaoh of our book, the Pharaoh of the book of Genesis, and makes Joseph to be the most powerful person in all the Egyptian empire, and to save Egypt, the family that when our patriarch Jacob dies, he gets a royal funeral that all of Egypt is involved. From that turning into a despised, hated, enslaved family, all of it is going to happen in this chapter, actually in a few verses. And it's almost ironic that the book comes and begins the story by saying, these are the names of the people of Israel, and then it lists the names of it says, Ele Shmot Bnei Israel, that these are the names of the children of Israel, and then it lists the names of all the 12 children that are already dead. And it's ironic because what happens next is you have a big, vast group, a people, according to Pharaoh, that has no names. Because when you enslave people, when you make them your servants, they also lose their identity. They become objects instead of subjects. So the Hebrew name is actually also a warning, a headline, a neon statement. Don't you ever do that. Don't you ever forget that every person has a name, and the name carries an identity, and the name carries a character, and it's carrying a human being. And this story here is about the wrongdoing of erasing people's name and making them just a vast, nameless group of objects, and then we come out of it. And then again, everybody has a name. And obviously we are yearning for the Micha Mocha moment, from the moment that we are already out and liberated from Egypt. Let's say the blessing before we do some of the reading in chapter 1 from verse 8.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
ויקם מלך חדש על מצרים, אשר לא ידע את יוסף. ויאמר אל עמו, הנה עם ישראל רב ועצום ממנו. הבה נתחכמה לו, פן ירבה, והיה כי תקרנה מלחמה, ונוסף גם הוא על שונאינו, ונלחם בנו, ועלה מן הארץ. וישימו עליו שרי מיסים למען ענותו בסבלותם, ויבן ערי מסכנות לפרעה את פתאום ואת רעמסס. וכאשר יענו אותו, כן ירבה וכן יפרוץ. And the translation is, a new king arose over Egypt, who did not know Joseph. And he said to his people, look, the Israelite people are much too numerous for us. Let us deal shrewdly with them, so that they may not increase. Otherwise, in an event of war, they may join our enemies in fighting against us and rise from the ground. So they set taskmasters over them to oppress them with forced labor, and they built cities for Pharaoh, Pithom, and Ramses. But the more they were oppressed, the more they increased and spread out, so that the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites. This is in a very short few verses. All I read was from 8 till 14. What is it?
12.
You're right, till 12. Not even 6 verses. I was going to give myself more credit, but we have here someone to keep me grounded. So 6 verses, we have a story how not only love becomes hate, but we have a story of xenophobia one-on-one, and populism one-on-one, and incitement one-on-one. But we also have, in one small verse, something that is going to be the prototype of what is anti-Semitism and what is unique in anti-Semitism that you don't find in hatred of other nations. So we see the lack of knowledge of the people, and knowledge in biblical Hebrew also means to intimately know one another. So obviously it couldn't be that the new king didn't know who Joseph was. If the stories in Genesis are correct, Joseph is a big hero also for the Egyptians, not only for us. But he didn't know him personally, he didn't know him intimately. And when you don't know someone, then you have assumptions on them, and it can create also hatred. But look what he says. First of all, he's the first one to call us a people. We were never a people till that moment. We are a family until that moment. Pharaoh names us as a people, and he calls us Am Bnei Yisrael. Okay, the people of the children of Israel. And what does he say? That people is Rav ve'atzum mimenu. They are bigger than us. They are stronger than we are. This is why we have to deal with them, because in case there's a war, they will join us. Now that's a very popular thing that you say to your people when you want to create incitement and hate. They will be a fifth column. We all know that, okay? They might be a minority, but they are going to help our enemies, and then we'll solve it. But there's something here, to my knowledge, that is unique to the hatred of the people of Israel. And that is, usually when you hate another people, you tend to look down at them. You say, they are just a bunch of drug dealers, thieves, they are incapable, they are just dragging us down. You don't say they are smarter than us and that's why I hate them. I feel inferior to them and that's why I hate them. You usually, I mean, we have racists in our country that look at other people, people of color or people that look different and say they are like monkeys, they just came out of the trees, all kinds of racist, horrible things, but that you look down and you're trying to put people down. And in the hatred of the Israelites, the hatred of the Jews, from the beginning, from Pharaoh till today, there is that assumption that we're hated because we're looked as Rav ve'atzum mimeno. They are greater and stronger than us. It's the early church that said that the Jews are aligned with Satan and they have demonic forces. It's the hatred of people who say that we control the media and control the politics and control the world and control the banks and control everything. It's that hatred that is based on assumptions that we are so powerful, so much that Jews joke that you would rather read an anti-Semitic newspaper than a Jewish paper, because a Jewish paper always lists everything that is wrong, and an anti-Semitic paper says, wow, you read it and you say, we're doing so well. I didn't know that we control the banks and the world and the politics and that. This is great news about how well we're doing. But it comes from here, and it creates a hatred that you're feeling, I need to crush them. I need to ruin them. I need to eliminate them. And that is the danger of what we see here, and at every hatred of every other ethnicity or color or race or gender or anything that is based on who you are and what you are. Let's say the blessing after reading from the Torah. We're going back to page 250 in our prayer books.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai bi'ad Moshe, bi'ad Moshe. Al pi Adonai bi'ad Moshe, bi'ad Moshe. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael.
And we turn to page 283 to read together in the middle of page 283 the Aleinu. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
Lifnei Nazar, Malchei
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation, whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Jose Maza, Henry Berg Brousseau, Hugh Edward Green, Nathan Handmaker, Helen Yanoff Handmaker, Maurice Judah Sr., Libby Rubin, Gail Kassin Schwartz, Caroline Stifler, Rosetta Handmaker, E.J. Manny Meyer, Sidney Stibble, Erwin Swaito, Harry Weintraub, Samuel Z. Goldstein, Maria Gusakova, Beverly Rosenblum, Ben Weitz, Seymour Bernstein, Ronnie Gladstein, Leon E. Hirsch Sr., Hattie Klein, Rosalie Lederer, Ben Lowenstein, Lee Morgulan, Esther Robinson, Elizabeth Weinberg, Moose Cohen, Marshall Cooper, Martin Ehrlich, Lucille Frank, Miriam Weil, Evelyn Bader, Norton Gueron, Ivan Greenspan, Mercedes Snyber, Florence Nebo, Anna Bellman, Jack Goldberg, Harold Heiken, Louis Joel, Stanley Lehman, Joanne Musicante, James Rosenblum, Nettie Y. Schwartz, Leon Subo, Willie Friends, and in recent days, Nira Rybak. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died in this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. And with the blessed memories from our loved ones in our hearts, we rise as we turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה. May the memory of our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction to us all. Amen. Our closing song is Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Please say Shabbat Shalom to everyone you know and those you don't know. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.